The following takes place between 0700 and 0900 hours. Hey guys, I'm Tommy and welcome back to StudioScents. You know I love those first impressions and today is no exception. I'm going to be doing a first impression of none other than 24 Gold. That's right, of Jack Bauer fame. Now what's interesting is I'm not so sure that 24 has anything to do with Molotov cocktails and surveillance, and I would have thought that it would have maybe a little bit of a cloak and dagger kind of feel to it, maybe a gunpowder edge, or be like a spice bomb, or you know, something, some kind of word association with the show 24. Good old Kiefer Sutherland. Really enjoy his depiction. You gotta kind of act like you gargle with whiskey every night. Chloe, I need you to open a wormhole. Chloe, I need you to pull down a satellite and do it while you're doing your other job at CTU. And he's always asking her to do these crazy things that no person can possibly do, no matter how much of a technical genius that they are, and no matter what kind of arsenal in terms of technology they have at their disposal. It's crazy. There's so many plot holes. I really enjoyed watching the show. I'm really excited about trying out 24 Gold. It promises to be a very interesting scent and fragrance. Before I do a first impression, I really try to stay away from reading anything about the fragrance that I'm gonna try out, just because I don't want it to give me ideas in my head. I don't want it to supplant any of my authentic and genuine first impressions. The majority of people think that a fragrance is amazing. I don't want to read that, and then I go up in front of the camera to do a first impression and I'm like, oh, this smells amazing. And it's not really my honest, or I'm not being authentic that way. So I literally haven't read anything about this. And I'm curious, I'm dead curious to see what it's like. So let's not waste any more time and get right into it. Okay, so take the packaging off. I'll probably cut to this because this is very well packaged. Like Jack Bauer himself would probably need a pocket knife. As the name implies, it is a gold box. Imagine that. And we've got that iconic digital 24 emblazoned on the front of the box, if you can see that. It's pretty cool. Eau de toilette. It is a 1.7 fluid ounces or 50 mil. Take it out of the box. Box is nice and dark on the inside, and I do like that gold. That is really cool. It's like and the weight of it, it's like a small brick of actual gold. It's really neat looking. I don't know if you can see there. So on the front of it, you have the 24, the digital 24 with the TM trademark on it. Eau de toilette. There's nothing on the sides. On the very back, you've got the 50 mil and then of course the Fox logo, which Fox owns the 24 brand. On the very bottom, you have a stamp with product information, and this is from the house. It looks like Scentstory and Scentstory, and you combine those two, Scentstory. So there you have it. Now the lid is something that looks like it would belong on a normal size bottle, 100 ml bottle. So it probably has a standard atomizer. So pop that lid off and there you have it. I'm interested to see. Now it is interesting, the gold finish does show fingerprints really easily. So that would bother me. If you're slightly OCD like I am, you'd clean it off all the time. But let's see what that spray array looks like. Yeah. Oh, wow. This is a very interesting, the bitter, strong oud in there as well. I'm gonna spray it on a fragrance strip and see what that's like. But this room has been destroyed or uplifted, however you want to look at it, by this fragrance. Wow. It's almost like the layers are presenting themselves in each their own complexity. You can smell the top layer. You've got that, definitely the oud is I wouldn't say overpowering, but it definitely takes precedence. You've got the cedar. Yeah, the agar wood is really, I love the way that it works in this. But you also have a vanilla overlay. It's vanilla to me, and this is almost like the crust of a pie. It covers the contents so that not only do you have the contents of the pie to look forward to when you dig into it, but you can smell that vanilla right away. The vanilla and the oud, and almost like it's kind of a heavy, this is a heavy fragrance. So you've got kind of a heavy but slightly sweet Lang Lang. Kind of reminds me of like Chanel No. 5 or Joy, the Lang Lang and those fragrances. But I really like what it's doing here. This fragrance is definitely not for the faint of heart. It is for someone who doesn't mind enjoying a more complex, stronger, kind of like a vanilla, gourmand, slightly chocolate flavored scent. And the dry down is probably going to be even more complex than the open. Okay, I'm going to give it a minute to dry down and talk a little bit about the 24 line. So 24 Gold was launched, but it is not by itself. Suddenly it turned around and literally had a family of 24. So you've got quite a few to choose from in the 24 family of fragrances. But 24 Gold definitely is setting the standard. Okay, I'm interested in seeing, now that it's been about 20 minutes, I've let about 20 minutes go by to see what the dry down is sort of like. Oh, man, that's heavenly. I really like that. It is a deeply, I don't know, if it's like a piece of music that you listen to that just really relaxes you, and it is soothing, but it also makes you feel like a burgeoning emotion that you can't quite put your finger on. It's a mix between sensuality, angst, and wholesome goodness. After experiencing 24 myself, I couldn't help but check out the internet. I was just dead curious about what other people were saying about the fragrance. And I found a couple of things that were curious to me, and it kind of illustrates the polarizing effect that certain fragrances have on people and how they are viewed. In the first one, and I'm just going to read it because I definitely am not going to try to dedicate other people's thoughts to memory, but I'm going to put it up here on the whiteboard and let you guys enjoy it along with me. So you've got this school of thought, and whomever wrote this was very poetic, and that is the neat thing about the essence of fragrances. It can bring out the poet in someone. You know, it makes me think of the imaginary author's line. You enjoy reading the story as much as you do enjoy the scent itself. And I really enjoyed the thoughts of this person and how they encapsulated what they thought of the fragrance. And they said, "It is almost like the fragrance finds and delineates the line between what is wholesome and taboo, and then resides on both sides of that boundary, choosing to participate with neither construct." So kind of go back to what I was saying earlier, it finds what's taboo and finds what's wholesome, brings them together, but it doesn't dedicate itself to either thought or idea. It kind of rides that line. So it's kind of a mediator. It's a mediation of the two ideologies, which is a really neat way of expressing your thoughts on a complex fragrance like this. And then you have the other school of thought, which smells like an ashtray with candy in it. So this person definitely has no problem with encapsulating their ideas or thoughts. And that was a pretty succinct summation of a complex fragrance, but okay. Smells like an ashtray with candy in it. So there you have it in just one paragraph and in one sentence, the polar opposites of extremes of what people think of 24 Gold. I think the best thing about this is the way that the oud works with the vanilla, the woods, the cedar. You've got jasmine in there, definitely jasmine, definitely sandalwood. Right off, you can tell. In the dry down, you've got sandalwood and the similar guaiac wood. I'm a real fan of anything that has anise, that has a star anise in it. All those work really well together to great effect. And so what you would want to do and what is suggested with 24. And by the way, the cap is really quality. It doesn't click into place, but it's smooth. Like it fits really snugly, and it fits down on top of it very smoothly. But it's recommended to spray this on your pulse points, which would mean, on the sides of your neck, behind your neck, on your wrist, pulse points on your wrist, or also on your chest as well. So making use of the heat that is coming off of those pulse points that makes the fragrance stronger and produces the projection and creates that sillage trail. 24 Gold is definitely going to be a beast master of projection. I don't even have to give it a full review to know that. And just from a few glimpses of some of the thoughts of other people online, they've also mentioned that the projection is really, really good with this, as well as the longevity. A few people said that it wasn't that great, but I just think that's their body chemistry or something, because it doesn't make sense with something like this. I mean, I literally just sprayed this 3 times in this relatively small office, which is this room, which is my office, and it is filling up the room. So 2 thumbs up for me. 24. You don't have to be Jack Bauer to wear this, but you will have the kind of confidence that he exuded in the show. Also, your cell phone, apparently your cell phone battery will never die if you wear this. Those are some of the benefits of getting 24. So I will say this is definitely going to be more a fall fragrance going into cold weather. It's going to be perfect for that on any occasion that you want to wear it. And it is going to be a little darker, heavier, so you want to use it lightly. And I feel like that's probably why it comes in the 50 ml bottle, because this sucker's gonna last you a long time. So use it sparingly. You don't have to spray like 3 or 4 sprays on yourself like you do like a fresher aquatic fragrance. So use it lightly on your pulse points and it will go far and last you a long time. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap up my first impressions of 24 Gold. Thanks so much for sticking with me. Thanks so much for your support. I really do appreciate you stopping by. For those of you checking me out for the first time, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like and comment. I always appreciate your comments as well. Hit that bell icon, the one at the very top. That'll notify you when I drop a new review. Thanks again for stopping by. I'm Tommy with StudioScents, and I'll see you next time. Definitely wear 24.